Hello, everyone. We're just going to go straight into it. Today, with me, I have a very good friend of mine. Her name is Melvina. She's going to share her experience with us, how she was pregnant and got separated. She was pregnant for, let's say, a month, roughly a month, and then her life took a different turn. So, let's go. Welcome to my
Thank you so
channel. Good to
much.
see you
Same
again.
here.
So we'll just go straight into it. So how did it happen? What happened? Why, and how did with your pregnancy, how did your marriage feel?
Okay. I think I keep telling people.
Mhm,
I said there's this knowing we have
mhm,
and we try to brush it off. And that's where the mistake always comes from. Because I
okay.
would say I had a little bit of that knowing,
Mm,
but I think we're already too close. I said, let's just carry on with this stuff. So
hmm.
in all of the things, immediately I got married, it didn't take me. I got married in April,
Mhm,
like May ending, I was already pregnant.
okay.
So I was 3 weeks gone already. When we went to the hospital, went to check. I went with myself, my husband, and my mom went to check, and it was positive. Immediately, his countenance just changed.
Hmm.
Like, Oga, how far are you
Are
okay?
you okay?
Just was acting indifferent. Let
Hmm.
me use that word. We got home. I thought it was going to, be okay. It got
Mhm.
worse. Then
Did he express himself as to why he was feeling that way?
nothing. I was just, I don't know. I couldn't even. I started asking him, "Are you
Yeah. Are
okay?
you okay?
Like, are you okay?" First day, second day, third day. The next day, I just had to brush off. As I'm like, maybe something. Maybe he'll
When
come
he's
out with
ready,
it.
he'll come around.
So I waited 1 week, nothing.
Hmm.
2 weeks, nothing, and my pregnancy started, troubling me.
Hmm.
Troubling me. My whole life just
Was it morning sickness? Was it
I
what was?
suffered all of the morning sicknesses, nights, afternoon sickness. If there's anything
Hmm.
like that, I suffered
Hmm.
everything pregnancy came with. I went through all of it,
Wow.
from spitting to vomiting,
Oh my
all of
God.
it, to bad smell, to taste, everything.
Everything.
So my system was, let me use the word corrupt,
Hmm.
So um one day he just woke up, say he was traveling, and I'm like, okay, I'm coming,
Hmm.
I'm coming, no problem.
He's coming as in he would be right back. He traveled.
Yeah, because we were supposed to go and start a church.
Okay.
Yeah, so the pressure was, we must go together.
Okay.
And this lady is sick. I was down. So my parents thought that, okay, you go ahead, she's coming. She will join you. Just give her some time.
Mm-hmm.
Let the pregnancy be stable.
Yes, so that you don't.
She's
Yeah.
not fit enough to start going to the field, evangelism and stuff and all of
Right.
that. She will join you. And he was like, no, we must go together. If we're not going together, it's not going to work. We
Hmm.
must leave today. And me, I told my parents, personally, it was not about them. Me, I know they go. I know they go. Because it was getting too scary. Somebody you
Yes.
married,
Yes.
and you started seeing something. I was afraid. I became afraid because
Hmm.
this this was not the person.
Mm-hmm.
Something is not adding up.
Hmm.
Before that time, probably we'll move. We'll have time to talk about this because it's going to take a
Yeah,
long
it
time.
looks like we're
When
going to
so,
have part one, two, and three
yes,
because
when
it's a long one.
someone was trying to make it in ministry in
Hmm.
a hurry,
Hmm.
there's some things he told me that I told him I was not going to budge. I won't do this thing
Mm-hmm.
because we will not call people of God to deceive them.
Just
Yeah,
yes.
so there was just a lot about this church opening that I did not find right, and I was not going to tell my parents almost immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So go, we're coming. So when he left, that was all. 3 weeks.
Okay, so he traveled,
Yes,
and then what happened after that?
3 weeks to 1 month, 1 month, 2 months.
Hmm.
He called me on the phone and like we are going to end this marriage.
With your pregnancy.
I died every day,
Wow.
every day. He didn't end there. He went to my church, the headquarters church. reported my parents, that he refused to allow his wife to follow him. It was getting to a scandal. Then they called my
Coupled
father.
with the fact that you are a very strong, you are a minister in your church. You are so
So
it was a huge, it was a
yes,
big
my both
blow.
parents are senior pastors. I'm a pastor myself. It was more than a blow.
Wow.
It was all shades of everything.
Hmm.
I fell down. I was willing for the pregnancy to just go away.
Yeah, so that you
Like,
can get on with your life.
Like I
Wow.
was like, how did how did I make this
With
mistake?
all your knowing.
Yes, there was just a lot that I was trying to gather myself every day. They called my parents about it. My father told them, he's a very quiet person. He's like,
Yeah, he is.
this marriage is family issue.
Yeah.
So I want it out of the church.
Yeah.
So that was how the church area died. But it didn't end there. This man would call me every day. He would abuse me. He would even tell me if I don't sign that divorce. Okay, I was in the house one day. This Korea service for God is good came knocking. And the next thing I saw was a divorce paper. Okay, he started threatening before that we have to divorce. I must sign the paper. I said, I will not sign any paper. I'm not going to sign anything because the whole thing.
You need closure.
Yes,
you can't tell me that you're traveling, and then I couldn't join you, or you couldn't join him at the time, and then the next thing is divorce. Is that how it's done?
He was not making me understand anything. He was just every day saying a whole lot of things. So we started calling. I started calling his family, calling the closer family to Port Harcourt that he stayed with. Everybody was like, "What's going on? Like, what's So the next thing I heard, the Korea service came with a divorce paper, fully signed by me, and I was not in court.
So your signature was forged?
Yeah, I was not in court. I just saw my signature and dates. Like when I got into the house, I was not suicidal, but I know I was this close to. I gave up. Like for the amount of time, I can't quantify how much we've served God, but I know I've served God to a point where
you don't deserve.
There's some things I did not deserve. Like I was like, how did I make this? No, I started asking. I would just be in the room and I say, okay, where did I miss it? Okay, what happened?
They say be with a Christian man. Be with a Christian. Of course, being with a Christian man, it's a plus. That's it. But was he a pretender? Where did this?
That's what I keep asking myself every day. Even this is like 5 years after, and every day I wake up, I'm like,
you're still in shock.
Yes, I've not been able to get over it because sometimes when I go to my church, they were like, Pastor Slim, how are you? How's the family? How's the husband? I'm like, fine.
Wow.
Because I've not been able to put together words.
To keep explaining to people, I'm no longer with my husband. And coupled with being a minister, you sing, and she sings beautifully well. She sings, and I don't know how. And let's not pretend here. We know how church folks can be. You know how church folks can be.
You don't want to know the backlash,
the judgmental attitude, the judging, the side talks, without coming to say, like genuinely holding your hand and asking, how are you doing? Without looking for apropos. I'm not saying you are looking for information to take to the next person. Genuinely asking her, how is she doing? So how did you spend your nights with the pregnancy growing, with the controversy going on?
Blessed memory. My mom.
Wow.
She's one of the best things that.
Oh my God. I've met your mom. She's such a strong woman.
God gave to me. Like, she would tell me, go to church. Anybody else ask you anything, let them come to me. And she will always say the best front to keep is courage.
It's courage.
She said, you didn't do anything wrong. You got married, you got wedded, church, court, traditionally. Don't let anybody make you feel less of yourself. She will always tell me that. Wow. And when I gave birth to my son, I don't think people knew me.
I was there
because she was always with my son. So it was later people even knew that I had a child because they were almost together like all the time. She said, she's my go to wherever you want to go to. Keep
Wow.
him with me. I would handle it.
Mm-hmm.
But she has a very strong personality.
Yes.
So people couldn't even walk up to her to ask her anything.
You dare not.
They nobody.
Not
fit.
the mommy. No,
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 you
no.
fit. Like, sorry.
How is that your business?
How, Mama? No, no, no,
No, no,
no.
no.
Nobody will go to her. So she said,
Hmm.
use me to walk on my shoulders. Nobody will come to you, and nobody
Mm.
did. Went to
Mm.
her.
Mm.
I suffered shame. That's why when I see people going through a lot, my heart goes out because
Goes out to
I've
them.
suffered shame.
Mm.
I've suffered reproach.
Mm.
I've suffered rejection. You can call me by that because I know what it is one on one.
Mm.
Like, I'm a personality where I worship.
Mm-hmm.
As I walk through the gate, like, they know me.
Mm.
So that was a setback for me.
Mm.
A job, my life, everything was just on standstill. Some nights I will stay up, I will cry. My mom she'll tell me, I wish I could carry this pregnancy with you, but I can't. This is the only thing you can do on your own. But I know that I'll be
And
here.
how you didn't get pregnancy induced BP?
I don't even know how that happened.
It's to my amazement. I'm surprised.
I think from everything God gave my mom that I took was strength. I look slim on the outside.
Oh no!
I know that every day
She's
big.
big.
I'm big.
You're
like,
big. You're
my
big.
strength is big.
It's big.
Like how I manage some things.
Wow.
I don't know, but I know that I felt so ill in the hospital that even they didn't even know that I was going to give birth. Yeah, they didn't know I was going to give birth. They actually wanted me to probably, because when they gave me one injection so I could eat, because I was throwing up everything. They said, this baby, I don't know, but let her just keep pushing. When I see pregnant men on the road, whether they are married or not married, I just put myself in their shoes. I know how I was moving without a husband for 9 months.
Wow.
Because the first 3 weeks he was there, but he was not there. So I was the one pushing 1, 2, 3, 9 good months.
9 good months.
Tearfully.
Without a husband.
At some point, my mom told me, stop crying. You pass that negative energy to that child. Because I cried every day. Every day I was like, God, what did I do? Okay, God, if you knew this was going to be a problem, why did you even make me get pregnant so early? At least maybe now we're not together. I would have been free, So,
but you have such a beautiful son. He's so
how
handsome.
I've managed for like 5 years. I don't even know how. When I look at him, I think that's the only God brought him. I think every day I just get to realize that God brought him to keep me sane, to keep me corrected, to keep me going, to keep me staying, because I don't lose God, don't make I no lie. No, I don't lose God. But when I look at my son, the respect I have for him,
wow,
will just tell me, stay on course.
Stay on
course. He's 5 years old, and I can tell you for sure,
God.
I've only received 5,000 from his father, and that money came, I almost died. At the vex, my blood was high. I'm like,
5,000 for what?
I called. I said, this money is
For what?
I said, sir.
What is it for?
I said, sir.
Oh my God.
Trust, I withdrew that money and went straight to the offering box.
I trust my girl.
I'm like,
I trust my girl. So 1,000 for every year.
Yes. This money is not for me. But when I was about to give birth, my labor started on Tuesday throughout. I was 2 CMT. Wednesday evening, I wasn't dilating. So the doctor came, checked, and like, everything has engaged, but there's no, because the cervix is tight. Obviously,
you are without
a husband. So nothing was happening.
There was
no activity. So nothing was going to make it happen. So it was obviously going to be CS.
Yes.
And my mom was not going to give that chance, because they were hearing my son's future heartbeat anymore. So she was like, do the needful. Let's just make sure the mother and the child is out. But what women don't understand is CSO, normal delivery, or is Hebrew woman, just go in and come
And
out
come
alive.
out.
That's what that thing
Thank
meant.
you. Thank
So
you.
I came out. I think it was well over 200,000 that hospital bill. So because it was a family hospital, they let me go because the money wasn't available.
Mm.
So they had stayed like a month. That money was not ready yet. And doctor called. That day, doctor called. I cried. I said, God, if you don't answer me today, now that I'm talking to you, I will just, everything should just end. So somehow, mom just realized my mother, she had a Sienna. I think we had 3 cars. So she just called her mechanic, said, please sell off this car for me. So that was how I paid that hospital bill.
Mm.
All the things I'm saying, there was nobody to pay, no father figure, nothing, no husband figure. My mother paid. Getting to, I've stayed at home 3 months now. I need to go for dedication.
Mm.
No money. My mother said, we will go, whether he's around or not. What do you want to name your child?
So what was he saying after you had your child? What did he say?
He didn't even, he only came 2 weeks after delivery.
To
Yes.
look at the child.
He just came, and all my brothers, they were
Ready.
they were ready. Oh, they were
Oh my
ready.
God.
My father is very calm.
Calm.
Everybody just calm down. My brother was like, calm down for what?
Oh
You know what even pissed us off? He wore suit and tie to the house.
Wow.
Everybody just lost their temper. Oh, he wore suit and tie.
Wow.
My other brother just held the tie. I would
Wow.
drag you.
Wow.
Oh God, but my father said I should calm down.
Oh,
So they
God.
left him. He came and looked at the baby. You came to see your child.
Empty-handed.
So there's just a lot. Sometimes when people say I met my husband now and I got married, those marriages last 25 years. So people say we dated for 15 years. I don't know what happened.
Yes.
This is example like I don't know what happened.
Don't know.
I can't even explain what happened.
Because he portrayed himself, because that's the word I'm going to use now. He portrayed himself to be a calm guy, a nice guy,
He's a
God-fearing.
pastor.
How is that person a pastor and still roaming the streets?
He has a church actually. Hello, even remarried. Yeah. Okay. This we cannot finish this story now because
No.
all this is I'm saying I'm not detailing it because there's no time. When I know I called the wife once and she told me, please leave my marriage. Oh. You are just being broke and frustrated. I'm like, that's my husband you're marrying. She's like, I said, you're just being broke and frustrated. Don't let me. I dropped that call
And you start asking yourself, who sent me to make this
yes,
call?
you know,
Thinking that you're talking to somebody like woman to woman.
I was trying to explain to her. I said, like, talk to your husband, about the boy to try to.
Yes. At least his well-being. Forget about you. His fees, everything about him
I
should
didn't
be
even
taken care
concern.
of.
I didn't even concern. I don't even want him to be concerned about me. Funny enough, just the child. But when I realized that it wasn't going to be possible, at 2 years, I just gave up.
So that signature that was forged
Is
was
what?
accepted.
Yeah, and it's one. I think he went with a woman, which they thought was me. I don't know how
What?
that court did that, and it's a criminal issue
Yes.
that I'm not even willing to meddle into. No, some women would have taken advantage of that.
Yeah.
He came with nothing, so I knew that it was dawned on me. Say, not only you did this matter. So my parents were very helpful.
Wow.
It has to just be family. I had to come out of my home early to start my sewing waka so that I could meet up with a lot of bills too. Then the worst now hit me 2 years after. My mom now died because she was kidnapped. She didn't come back from that situation.
So how many months was your son?
My son was a year plus.
When this happened?
Yes. So when it happened, a lot of things were in my mind, but the first one was, where would I start from? That was like my only umbrella.
Wow. Yeah.
That was like my to-go person.
Yeah.
That was Pampers. That was food that died. That was anchor that I lost. That
Mhm.
was where would I go with Sammy? That was everything.
Mhm.
I had to sit up, sit in. I had to raise all of the strength I had.
Okay, so when you found out that they called you to come and see if it's your mom or
That day changed everything about me because I was in the car when she was taken. So when they called us to,
so they pushed you out of the car?
yeah,
Was
they
that
dragged me out of the car
okay?
and took her, and my son was behind. So she told them that she would not enter the car. They said they bring down her grandchild. So when they called us from the police station to come and identify a corpse, I said, no, my mother cannot die. She was that kind of person. If you knew
Oh, she's a
her,
strong woman.
you would
Oh,
you would ever imagine that she would have a relationship with those people. But I think they came for a particular mission.
mm,
So when I went there and saw her, I was walking. My younger brother was in front. He said he saw her face. He said, "This is my mother." I didn't even wait to go to check. I started running. More like heaven should take me. Oh, the first thing I said was, "Where would I go with Sammy?" Oh, you know, that was the father figure he knew. You know, so from that day, he was mourning for me
with your child.
with my 1 year, 6 months old child. He hadn't started school then, so it was it was something
Mm.
for me. So I moved out first from the family house, went to rent a house somewhere first to, you know, the whole fear of you don't know what happened and stuff. Sometimes
So how is your dad?
it's fine. He was having a job at then Abuja, so he had to go back.
Mm.
So it was still me.
Wow.
It was still gonna be me. I don't have a sister, so it was still gonna be me. Sometimes
Mm.
I'll have to stay awake to make sure that the pampers was enough. Let him just wee on the in the Macintosh and stuff. It's not like the money was not there, but if I use this money now to buy something for myself, what about this boy? You know, I know I didn't have makeup for over a year. Didn't have makeup. I didn't know what
Makeup is
makeup.
like the least on
I
your
didn't know what
mind.
makeup. I didn't even know what eye pencil was like. You know, some things I couldn't. I couldn't wear. I was not there. Just food,
For the
food,
child.
pampers. Someone even abused me one day in church because I wore him one of his native trousers and his shirts. She said every time you go, they wear on this native trouser and this shirt. I heard that from a close friend actually. You know, the worst kind of pain is the church judgment.
Mm.
You see, church is another day discussion.
Mm.
It's in church. I think it's in church I received the worst kind of judgment. It's in church, people will just walk and pass. So because of my kind of person now, when we are much younger, I just buy clothes. So you're just packaging. People think you got it all together. Some things we don't say. You'll be walking past something you know you really need.
You really need, but
Oh,
you
this
can't
boy,
buy. You're thinking of
this
your
boy, this
son.
boy. So when she made that statement, I cried. But
Mm.
you cannot actually buy it because you don't have it.
Because you don't have it. Yeah. Wow. Wow. So now, your son is 5 years old.
5 good years.
Wow.
I remember you you
Ah.
you gifted him birthday cake.
Yes. Oh
Yes,
yes. Oh
he doesn't
yes.
forget
Yeah.
that at all. He doesn't.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
I think
So,
when he was 2 years, you gifted him a birthday
yes,
cake. Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Oh, how did you do it all these years? How, if you were to talk to somebody in your shoes right now, I know the human part of you will want to say, do it like this, do it like this. But how would you encourage a single mom that has been through what you've been through or even worse? What will you say to
First off, how would I encourage a single mother? Life with single mothers, the ones that are still holding on to their Christian faith.
let's
Let's
start from
bracket it
there.
like that, because we still have single mothers that
Yeah.
are doing well,
Mm-hmm.
that are not doing anything bad,
Yeah.
but are doing well.
Mm-hmm.
But we still have single mothers that are doing well, that know what they are doing.
Mm-hmm.
But the struggling ones,
Mm-hmm.
just hold, just day.
Mm.
Let me use let me use this our pidgin English. Just day,
Mm.
because I don't get how I want to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I know how much you cry at
Mm.
night. I know how you try. Just day.
Mm.
I know that you have to raise your child in a way that you can carry on. The
Mm-hmm.
way I'm raising my boy, he doesn't select anything to eat.
Mm.
I don't. We practically, I don't. I will not even let it happen.
Mm.
So that there are days when,
Whatever is available, you have to eat
we've
it.
we've 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 drank Gary stretched 3 days, and my boy did not even. He didn't even.
What?
No. He didn't even feel it like food no day. I'm like, Sammy, just take it, so that tomorrow morning you take that rice to school, He'll be like, okay. The next day he was even disturbing, and he wants to take the Gary and soup to school. He's the child that
Wow.
doesn't mind, and the school really don't accept that kind of
Oh,
meal.
yes.
You know, the school don't understand saying that the thing with the house. And me and him know say the thing no just day. So some days we just sip Gary and we are happy, like, because I no go do past myself really.
Mm.
But there's one thing I will not mix, is who I am. I will not trade it to try to live above the means.
Mm.
If you see a single mother dressing well and looking all good,
Mm.
sometimes now
All
properties,
properties that they've had
yes.
before.
And I'm a testimony to that. I don't really get fat, so I
Mm.
can wear some of my clothes for like 5 years straight. You will
Mm.
not even know.
No.
And
Because you have a good hand, you know how to take care of things.
yes,
Because we served together
together.
in Akwa Ibom
Okay.
State. There were some things that she showed me that she's had this bag for 3, 4 years, and I'm looking at the bag, and I'm asking myself, where is the bag that I used 3 years ago? You know, there are some people that their hands are so good in taking care of stuff and property. So she has
I wouldn't really say
that
it's easy. It's just one. What about single mothers that have two?
too.
If I begin to explain the hell I've gone through, sometimes we'll just take a long walk. Mommy, I'm tired. He doesn't know that I'm trying to keep that transport for the next move, for the next drop. Let me use yesterday. He told me he was very hungry. I
Wow.
think he saw plantain chips on the road. Mommy, please buy plantain chips.
Oh
I just used
God.
vex shout, like he didn't know that I didn't have that money. I said, you have food, you didn't eat that one. You want is something a mother just wants to bring her money and buy. But I was trying to
Oh,
reserve for tomorrow, because
tomorrow.
I cannot really tell you how a single mother should cope, because it comes by.
You roll with the punches
Yes,
every day as they
yes,
come.
you just move with the tide next morning.
Mm.
That next morning can bring you so much pain.
Mm.
So you now develop a new skill
Skill
to
to
absorb
that
and
day.
accommodate that day.
But it's through the help of the Holy Spirit.
Yes, because
Let us not.
I don't even know how many times I call the Holy Spirit in a day. I could call him like, so I'm moving on the road. Holy Spirit, help me.
Holy Spirit
Holy
help
Spirit,
me.
help
Because
me.
it is by your head knowledge.
I went to
I'm
the
not
office yesterday.
sure.
I
I'm
think I
not
slept
sure.
throughout in the office because
You were
my head was full.
exhausted.
I was exhausted,
Mentally exhausted.
mentally drained. I was lying down and listening to Joshua Selman's message.
Oh,
I just, I'm like, Holy Spirit, help
help
me.
me.
Because at this
Guide me. What do
point,
you do? Thank you so much for sharing your experience. This is really touching, and there are some things that we can't see on camera.
Yeah.
A lot that she has told me that she cannot see on camera because they are curse words, they are a bit vulgar, so we can't say these things. But this is an example of God's grace because using your head knowledge to analyze it won't work. God has been good to her. People have come to her rescue. And I know Melvina. She's not a lazy person. You know, I encourage you. I stand with you. And I know that it will get better. In fact, it is already better because her son is 5 years and how they survived throughout the pregnancy. First year, second year, third year, fourth year, this is the fifth year. I want to encourage mothers, single mothers out there. Don't give up hope. Keep pushing. Talk to your maker. Always rely on the Holy Spirit because that's the only way. I don't know any other way. That is the only way. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so
for
much for
being
having
with me.
me.
Thank
Thank
you. Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much.
you guys.
Bye.
Bye.